Now, the family did stop by here earlier, but as you can see, take a look at all this ash that is covering everything out here. They were unable to get any of their belongings out. Now, we did just get a little bit of a drizzle a few minutes ago, but check out the size of some of these waves that are coming in as a result of Tropical Storm Bill. It seems like most of the machines have already been removed from this particular business, and they're going to be held in these white trucks as evidence. Now, we also obtained a copy of the permit for this particular business, being called Stars Entertainment. Now, we also reached out to the operator of this particular business, and she told us that she was unaware of today's raid. A controversial plan to subdivide the Paul Ecke Poinsettia Ranch is facing strong opposition. It's one thing to be on a paved street, it's another to be on a dirt road. And that's why residents in this area say they just want this construction project to be completed because they say they're tired of seeing all this loose gravel on their street. Now, all this water you see behind me was all accumulated over the last weekend, and some neighbors here in this area say they've even resorted to renting pumps, some as much as $1,600 a month just to get the water out. It's not uncommon for agents to come across big rig trucks like this filled with undocumented immigrants. Just earlier this morning, Border Patrol at the Falfurrias checkpoint found 48 people stashed inside a trailer. Lots of people are snatching up some great deals and bargains this Black Friday, including myself. According to the City of McAllen, a pile of brush on the curbside like that is a do. But if you take a stroll just a few houses down, you'll notice a pile of mixed goods, furniture, and brush. But that, my friends, is a don't. Once immigrants pass the Falfurrias checkpoint, they come to a place like this. It's one of many pickup locations in Brooks County. You can see many of the items left behind by immigrants while they wait to be picked up and transported further up north, just one step closer to their destination. Now, Chief Espinosa also explained to Channel 4 that the burnt rubber actually creates large particles, and it's very hard for your lungs to be able to take that in. So if you have a pre-existing respiratory illness, it could actually worsen it. Crews are still out here trying to clean up the flood water from earlier this week, but as you can tell, people are concerned because the rain is already falling. So do your best to try and stay dry. For now in Fayetteville, I'm Ashley Custer, Action 4 News. On roads just like these out in the open, we encountered about 15 undocumented immigrants, mostly women and children. And as you can see and hear, Border Patrol vehicles and helicopters are still out surveilling the area looking for others. Action 4 News was granted access to this private property just feet away from the Rio Grande River to witness the surge firsthand.
This used to be green pasture, green grass.
The owner, Lorenzo Anzaldúa Jr., tells us it's easier than ever for undocumented immigrants to illegally cross our border.
They cross the river no more than 500-600 meters away.
And then they just
walk
on the open road.
Yeah, they want to get caught.
Anzaldúa Jr. explains that the immigrants are not hiding anymore. They're walking up on the open paved roads, waiting to surrender and be picked up by Border Patrol agents.
It just finished raining, and so this is probably from this morning. You see how all these footprints? They just wait here like, hello, we're waiting for the school bus. We're waiting for the bus so they can take us.
And just 2 hours of waiting with our cameras rolling, it happened just as Anzaldúa described. We witnessed a group of immigrants made up mostly of women and children walk right up the road, saying they're all from different countries and just happened to meet up along their journey. This woman is from El Salvador and tells us she's been traveling with her 15-month-old daughter for the last 15 days, hoping to reunite with family members in Atlanta. They explain that they're waiting for someone to pick them up or to be discovered by Border Patrol, whichever happens first. That didn't take long. Just minutes later, several Border Patrol vehicles arrived to round up the group. The immigrants did not appear concerned, but rather at ease that their long journey on foot appears to have come to an end. Anzaldúa explains that this is one of the many groups he's seen walk through the property.
We're still human beings, so I smiled at her. But you have no right being here, lady.
He doesn't agree with people illegally crossing the border to enter the United States. It's sad seeing young children making the trip in this South Texas heat.
A year-old boy, a little baby girl, plus there's a full-grown cougar running around here. What chance do they have? So who's the real enemy? The parents that don't give a damn about their kids? Who would bring a kid in this weather outside? Okay? They just care about themselves.
As a Border Patrol agent approached the group of undocumented immigrants, he told them the sooner that they provided their identification, the sooner they'd be transported to another location where they would be provided with food and water. South of Grand Heno, I'm Ashley Custer, Action 4 News.
The only park that we have in this area is just across, and we don't have access to it.
Lorena Singh says that Jones Box Park is something that all neighboring residents should be allowed to enjoy. Unfortunately, the only people who have accessibility to the city-owned park are those who live north of it. Neighbors to the south have to go around.
It's basically 2 miles. 1 mile going one way and then another mile coming back, and the same way, you know, it's a mile. And when you're talking about elementary kids, that's pretty dangerous.
She tells Action 4 News the neighborhood kids are taking a shortcut. They're going through the ditch. So we decided to check it out for ourselves to see just how easy or difficult it was to cross. Not only is it a steep slope to get down here, but I've actually had to take my shoes off because it's pretty slippery and I'm trying not to fall in. But the scary thing is that kids are crossing through here every day.
I don't think it's okay. I don't think I will allow my kids or anybody's kids to go down this canal or this drainage because it's not safe.
Folks are crossing that drain ditch using pallets and makeshift little islands to get across. And I think the citizens in the area have been asking for some sort of a pedestrian bridge or some sort of a crossing.
The city manager explains that the drainage ditch is actually owned by Hidalgo County, so they have been working alongside Precinct 2 to try to make a convenient access point for Southside residents.
It's been mostly talk, and I have seen no action. And I think it's time to take action, and that's why we're working on making our officials accountable for saying that they're going to build this bridge.
Singh has been complaining to the city of FAR for the last 2 years, but Sandoval reassured us that the city is making headway on the project.
I think a lot of the legwork's been done. Once we get you know, the rest of this, some of these things checked off, I think the actual process for engineering is pretty minimal. I would imagine 30 to 45 days because it's pretty minimal engineering, and the rest would just be construction. I could see something happening here, you know, probably by the end of the summer.
The city says the bridge will cost between $100,000 to $200,000 to build. In Las Mipas, Ashley Custer, Action 4 News. And what we found was so shocking, the Hidalgo County Environmental Health Department is now stepping in. The last 7 years has been a nightmare for Dalila Rodriguez.
We're not animals, we're people. My children are American citizens. They have the right to live here, live better, because we're paying for rent.
$330 a month to live in one of these dilapidated trailers along Castillo Street near Donna. That's not the worst of it. Right outside the trailer doors, broken beer bottles, pipes, and piles of trash litter the property. There's even a ditch overflowing with raw sewage that spills onto a neighboring roadway.
Stand here, you can smell it.
It's not just the odor of human waste. Rodriguez says the unsanitary conditions have also made tenants sick. This past July, she claims several were diagnosed with tuberculosis.
My daughter tested positive, my husband, my little one tested positive. It's not just us, there's a lot more people.
Her 17-year-old son, Gilberto Leal, nearly lost his leg to a bacterial infection. It was saved, but the scars remain.
Doctors asked me if my son had gone into a swimming pool or a contaminated swamp because the bacteria is born in a pool or swamp. I told them the only contaminated water is where I live. There's a septic ditch that spills into the street.
According to Rodriguez, not much has changed since they moved out a couple months ago. We went to investigate and found many of those conditions still exist. Nori Santos gave us an inside look at the trailer she's been living in for 2 years. Santos pays $200 a month, including water and light, but said that's no guarantee.
We told her you need to fix things. The bathroom, the sink, and for instance, like today, there's no water, not even to wash our hands.
Santos says she's taken her concerns to her landlord, but says her concerns have gone ignored. It's something Rodriguez says she's all too familiar with.
She told us to pay rent, that's it. If we asked her to fix the ditch, she told us to leave. If you don't like it, leave.
My name is Ashley. I work with Channel 4. Action 4 News took their concerns to Rosita Perez, the woman tenants claim is their landlord. Perez denies renting out the trailers long term and tells us the housing is only a temporary solution she's offered in order to help these people get back on their feet.
They gave you $20, $30, but they really didn't pay me. That's the money we used to pay the water and the electricity.
Perez quickly changed her response when we told her the Rodriguez family said they paid $330 a month.
No, she never paid us $300. $200? Yes, $200.
Perez then reassured us her tenants have light and running water, but any improvements or repairs needed will come at the expense of her tenants, even if that means having to raise their rent.
$100, $250, maybe something that is better.
Shocked at what we uncovered, we put in a call to the Hidalgo County Planning and Environmental Health Department to get answers.
Issues with substandard water and wastewater are, again, disease, and that's the whole reason behind the colonial prevention laws that were enacted.
The county discovered several families living on 1.5 acres of land, when Arredondo said there should only be 3 residences in order to avoid risk of septic malfunction and overflow. Now aware of the numerous trailers Perez is renting in her backyard, county health officials are stepping in.
And at this time, with the current condition of the septic tanks, this is not a livable.
No, at this time, it's not going to be livable.
Due to current conditions, the Hidalgo County Environmental Health Department is giving Perez 30 days to clean up the property due to issues relating to the septic system. That also allows her current tenants to have the opportunity to find another place to live. In the Hidalgo County Newsroom, I'm Ashley Custer, Action 4 News.